And lovely evening to everyone out there from Magic.tv land. This is Rob, and tonight kind of had a bit of a epiphany of sorts, for lack of a better word, as to something I'd like to discuss with everyone. Doesn't look good at all. It was about something I watched, and quite frankly, I was already planning on broadcasting some of these episodes on YouTube. But the gremlins got us. In other words, you need to basically be on YouTube for 24 hours. You have to click on it, and then they'll give you live access. So you got to actually signify that you're going to be doing that. So for future segments like these, at least now I'm prepared. I didn't know that at all. But tonight, I'm going to be kind of discussing with you and anyone else who's out there um, what it means or what it would mean to take your magic to the next level. And I'm just going to give everybody some time to get on board, to be here, to join the talk, to say hello, because of course I would love to hear from all of you. But once we get enough viewers watching, saying hello and stuff like that, both on Instagram and on Magic.tv page, um, then we can start the discussion about taking your magic to the next level. Seems to me there are forces at play that don't want me to do this episode. So that being said, if anybody on Instagram wants to say hi, we're gladly going to welcome you all and to make friends with you all. I'm still on Instagram. Way back. So we get this code. Give it a little bit more time. Just gotta grab this because I'm going to be inviting people from the Mysterium community. There's a lot of interesting people that I really love talking with, and I'd love to hear their inputs on this topic about bringing your tarot to, or your not tarot, your magic to the next level. And of course, I'd love to hear your inputs, your suggestions, your experiences with magic as a whole, because of course, this is just a discussion panel. If you notice, Wade isn't even here. I mean, I don't really consider it a show if Wade isn't around. Quite frankly, I personally prefer to do the show with him, but he was telling me to have this topic tonight. So, as we do with so many other segments, we add our friends so that people can join. Sometimes I also wonder why certain fortuitous events happen to people. All right, so with that, if you want to chat, talk to me, say hello on the chat room, and I can hear what you have to say because I know somebody's watching. But that being said, I want to take this time right now to ask you, as a practitioner, as a person who studies the occult, who practices, especially, this is really for the practical level people. I'd like you all to think about your top five most important magical, occult related artifacts that you may have. Whatever. It could be it a book, a deck, a medallion, cross. Sky's the limit. But I want you to think like what would you consider to be your top five important magical artifacts? I'm actually going to broadcast this on my other page because I think I'll actually get more people here. Spend time thinking about it. I actually want to hear what you guys have to say. So we are now live on 3 different places. So, by the way, for the people on the Raw Urban Reading page, don't be asking me for any free readings because tonight's not the night we do that. So think about that. What are your top 5 magical artifacts, occult artifacts that mean the most to you? Is it a deck? Is it a book? Is it a wand? Is it a medallion? Now think about all that. Okay, so if you haven't already answered that, so I'm just starting it off officially right now. Think of the top 5 important things you have. Now, with that being said, I want you to imagine right now a world where it's completely taken away. So yeah, your spell book, your grimoire, your crystals, your statues, all of it. It's gone. It's been stolen, destroyed, burnt, wrecked. It's all gone. Now the biggest question I'm going to ask you is, knowing that it's gone, does this mean that your magic is gone with it? That's the biggest question. Is your magic gone just because these tools are no longer present? So some people would say, well, my book, my deck. Okay, example, tarot deck. I really treasure my Mage the Ascension tarot deck. I really treasure my Anubis wand. And now they're gone. Can you still practice magic? That's the biggest question. Because if your answer is yes, then you have the right idea. Because basically, you need to come to an understanding that you are the magic. And that all of these things, the wand, the pentacle, the dagger, the sword, the spell book, the seals, are all extensions of your power, but they are not the source of it. I repeat, all of these decorations are all extensions of that power, but they are not the source of it. So these things magnify the power that you have, but they are not the end result of it. Okay, so one of my friends. Okay, yeah, so Regina said St. Benedict's medallion. Okay, great. That's a good answer. Very protective tool. Hey, Justin, nice to see you. Now, the thing is this: if it's gone, if you lose it, that mean you're not protected? Or is it simply something that amplifies your faith? Because if you give a St. Benedict's medallion to a Muslim, chances are it really won't mean much to them. Chances are it's just a knickknack, souvenir. What's important isn't the medallion itself, it's the importance that you put into it. What's important is the faith you have in what it represents. And with that, would the medallion itself be the source of your protection? Or is it simply something that amplifies the protection or the faith that you already have, which is what really gives that protection? More importantly, like a lot of people are really hell bent on their books, right? Books, tomes, all these beautiful things. But then again, you've got to come to the idea that these kind of things, these spells, these sigils, aren't the source of your power. Okay, and like example, if you had a brand, let's say, an engraved sigil of Astaroth on copper, yes, it's going to make communicating with Astaroth a lot easier. But does it mean that you can't if you don't have it? You see, when you begin to understand that these tools are all but extensions of you, you'll understand the role that they play. It's like the term supplement. Have you heard of that? When you have a supplement for working out and bodybuilding, these things are not meant to augment your diet, your nutrition, but they are meant to supplement, to aid it. They never take the place of it. It's the same thing with these tools. Because if you ask the four elemental tools of the wizard, the wand, the cup, the chalice, the pentacle, and the dagger, does it mean that if I don't have a wand, I cannot tap into the power of fire? Does it mean that if I don't have a chalice, that I can't tap into the power of water? Hello, Ophidian Complex. Welcome to the show. You are our first viewer from Magic.tv Presents. Now, the second thing I'm going to ask you is this. It doesn't really need to be something so ornate. It doesn't need to be something so outrageously expensive or an artifact of sorts. It's more of the importance you put into it, don't you think? I do understand that there's a great value of consecrating your objects. I mean, Frater Ashin Chasan taught us that in one of our episodes. But I just like to say that these kind of just purify the intention of the object more. And as a result, it just purifies what's in you. So the question I'm going to ask you, you have your top five most important magical objects to you. They're all gone. They all get destroyed. They all get um, wrecked. Or they're all stolen. Now, how do you practice magic? You see, sometimes the things you own end up owning you. And I remember I was reading in this issue of Constantine where he used to have this like bunker, this storage shed. And in that storage shed, it was full of all these different kind of occult artifacts. So many different things that he collected throughout a lifetime of being an occultist. And eventually he just said, it's an addiction. Good morning, Kenny. He got fed up of it and took gasoline, covered it all over it, and burnt it all. Because, you see, I mean, who am I to talk? I've got a lot of artifacts too. I've got a lot of stuff here in my house, books, tables, tools. But I'm also of the understanding that if I lost it all, I wouldn't lose my magic. It's kind of like saying that what makes a Jedi in Star Wars or Sith? Is it their lightsaber? Or is it a connection to the Force? Same thing with being a mage. What makes a mage? Is it the tools they have? Or is it their connection to magic? I like to say to kind of like quote what Lon Duquette said, Lon Milo Duquette. The magic always works. The magic always works. And if you don't have a wand, it doesn't mean you can't tap into passion or will. It just means that you just gotta find another way of doing it. You just pick up a stick. Or you can use your cell phone. But it doesn't mean that just because you don't have these tools that you don't get to practice magic anymore. And I think that that's the theory of where a lot of Buddhists talk about non-attachment, because they're telling you that, hey, you know what? It's okay to have these things. I mean, like, look at my background, for crying out loud. I'll be a hypocrite to tell you if it's not fun to collect these things at times. But hello, Crystal Intuition. It doesn't define you. And like I was watching this very fascinating girl last night, Anima Noira, this left-hand path girl, and she said she travels around the world a lot, and she doesn't really bring a lot of stuff. She doesn't bring a cauldron with her. She doesn't. It's like sometimes the most basic thing you really need to cast a spell is a pen and paper and a candle, and you can pretty much find these anywhere. But you've got to get outside of the thinking that you need all of these toys. It's kind of like also working out, like the example I used, that if you need a gym, if there's no gym, you don't work out. But if you need to exercise, what ends up happening is even if there's no gym, you'll find a way. Like I used to think, I learned this the hard way during the pandemic that I didn't need a gym to work out anymore. It's a nice addition, but I could easily walk for 2 hours. I could do push ups at home. And that made me responsible for my own fitness. Now, people just tend to think at times, oh no, but I didn't have my pentacle of this and that. That's why it didn't work. Then your magic is limited to your pentacle of this and that. One of the manifestors' creeds that I personally believe in when I'm teaching manifestation is find a way or make one. Okay, so it's good if you have it, but it's workable if you don't. Gina's sharing some stuff here. Intuition, courtesy of Intuitive Awakens. Yeah, there you go. Well, intuition is not really a tool, it's more of a skill set. Like nobody can really steal your intuition from intuition broken. Where are you viewing from, Ophidian Complex? Welcome to the show. Now, another thing is this too. It's kind of funny because you kind of see things go full circle. That when you start off, it's like the minute somebody starts into the occult, they try to start dressing like an occultist. Same thing with like these healing people who they need to have all their linen shirts and their yoga medallions, and beads and stuff. And it's like just because you're cool, Nebraska, nice place. Just because you're doing something doesn't mean you need to be something. See what I mean? Because what I've observed is like a lot of people, like for me, people don't know this about me a lot, but I'm actually a Reiki master. Yes, I can heal. But I don't go around and say, Namaste, my brothers. I will be doing the large of healing upon you today with 5 rays. No, I don't need to do that shit because I can do the practice. I don't need to make it part of who I am. Wow, Scavenged Rituals. Nice to see you. Probably the most amazing occult periodical that just came out. I was reading it. I'm in love with it. I've just got one complaint about that issue. More, please. Honestly, more, please. I wish I had more. So the point is, you could practice magic, and you don't need to walk around looking like a sorcerer, wearing a cloak and having a beard and a pentacle. Just like you can be a healer, and you don't need to go around dressing like some sort of guy from an ashram. You see, what you do doesn't define what you are. I do practice Reiki on myself, on my dog, on my kids, but I don't act like a Reiki healer. It's kind of like also like the archetypal actor person. It's like, I'm an actor. I'm sorry. Fuck you, man. You don't need to act that way. You could just be an actor. Oh, looking forward to that one. Hey, if you want me to be part of it, I'd be more than honored. So many things I could write about, especially about the tarot and magic. Mad props to Scavenged Rituals. I love how you did it. We need more of those things, actually. So the point I'm trying to get at, it's like another thing too, is like the archetypes sometimes that we live up to. Are you doing it because you do it? Or are you doing it because you want to be seen doing it? That's another thing, right? Like, I semi-practice jiu-jitsu. I agree with you, Ophidian Convex. That's actually very true. In fact, it's probably an advantage not to fit into the stereotypes. I completely agree with you. So, like, I semi-practice jiu-jitsu. I don't walk around town in my gi. I don't walk around town wearing jiu-jitsu shirts all the time. Actually, I don't even think I have any jiu-jitsu shirts anymore. I wear rash guards. I use that to work out. But I'm not trying to get people to see me as a jiu-jitsero. I just do it. And too many people do these things not because they're actually doing it, but because it's sporting a belt. I don't walk around town with my blue belt. You know what I mean? That's how I get my ass kicked by a black belt. Black belt will come up to me, bitch slap me, you dumbass, take off that damn belt. The truth about it though is, I don't need to go around doing things just to get attention. Like I've noticed this about a lot of people. Certain individuals just like to post, look at all my books, look at my library. Are you reading those books? Are you using those books? Can you actually have a discussion about those books? Because if not, they're empty intellectual trophies. One of the hottest things a woman can say to me right now is this, like, I was just reading Frater Atcher's Holy Diamond, and I just go, damn girl, if you actually read the book, you're already looking good to me. Okay? And it's even funny sometimes because sometimes they buy the book and they don't even give it the time of day. And here's another thing to keep in mind, especially about your magical practice. You can't really read your magical texts the way you'd read Harry Potter. That doesn't work that way. I mean, if you're, I could be wrong. Some people could be the exception. But if I'm reading like the Dresden Files, I could lie down with the air conditioner on, read the Dresden Files, and just get lost into that book. It's so well written and it's so beautiful. But if I'm reading The Baron Citadel by Giles, I will not learn anything doing it like that. I need to sit down with a notepad, a highlighter, a gallon of coffee, and God knows what else. Not because it's a bad read, but it digests differently. You got to be a little bit more, respectful to the text. Now, there are some authors out there that you could read on the beach with a cocktail in hand and just say fun. Like shout out to P.T. Misselberger. He's one guy who I have to really say with his The Dancing Sorcerer. You could read that on the bus. You could read that in the beach. It's easy and it's digestible. Even the Marco Visconti, shout out to him, makes it very digestible. Hello, Frida. But other texts like actually, I was just recently reading Clavis, the re-released Clavis. You're gonna need to treat it differently. And with that being said, you're showing a certain level of respect. If I'm gonna, instead of be lazy about it, I'm gonna make me a cup of coffee, clear my desk. I'm gonna look at this book, and I'm gonna just dissect it. I'm gonna forensically study this book. That's when you're showing respect to the text because it means there's something here and I want to get it. I want to understand it better. I want to appreciate it more. Think of it kind of like a steak, a very, very expensive steak. If I put it in front of you and you just gobble it down, no, you ate it, but did you experience it? Did you enjoy it? Or the same thing with some whiskey. What do you suggest for people that have a certain difficulty reading and studying? Okay, good. Good question. One page at a time. Okay, I'm going to be doing a release soon about how to forensically study occult literature. I probably would want to tie up with Denny of Foolish Fish on how to do this. But it would be better for you to spend 30 minutes reading 2 pages, but absorbing it all, than 30 minutes reading 20 pages and nothing gets in your head because you would have just wasted your time. And I do have a particular method that I am going to be teaching people how to do. And it's funny because I have taught it to some of my students. I have chosen certain occult books that are very difficult to digest. And I've let them read it, what I call it, read it casually, just skim through it. And they just look at me and they say, Rob, what the hell was that? Then when I teach them this forensic occult study method, they actually, hey, wait a minute. Yeah, it's making sense. But the key, people are going to shoot me for saying this. If you're a student of the occult, fuck speed reading. Okay? Fuck speed reading. Do not do it. Because if you speed read, it means you're in a rush. It means that you could miss something, which is very important, and things like that are missed could end up blowing up in your face. So that's some I'd rather spend 20 minutes reading 2 pages and master it than 20 minutes reading 20 pages and not get anything. It would have been a total waste of time if you get nothing out of it. So I hope that one helps you. Art, Dance, Magic. Hello, welcome. You're from San Francisco, aren't you? Most beautiful city on the planet, if you ask me. Up to now. And do you recommend audiobooks in addition to the text? Okay, that's a good one. I personally don't do well with audiobooks. I tune out. No, it doesn't work for me. I would much prefer a beautiful, beautiful text that I can highlight, write notes on. That's what I would really look forward to. You see, like another thing too is like, especially if you're planning on proceeding to things like evocation, if you're planning to proceed to things like spirit summoning, you want to develop a relationship with a spirit, take your damn time. Okay, like do all your homework. I remember I interviewed 3 or 4 different people before I finally did the Belial workings. You can read about it on my blog, robrubinreadings.medium. Follow me there, please. And I interviewed Wade, I interviewed David. I watched Lon's experience by the time and time again. I even asked Keith 418 some of his advice, because there was no shortcut to this. Shortcut magical careers, because you will miss something that's going to just be too vital to you. Hey, Art, Dance, Magic, if you want to ask us anything, feel free to. We'd love to answer any questions for you, especially anybody in my favorite city in the world, San Francisco. And also here on magic.tv on Facebook. This is just a topic about, how to take your magic to the next level. So we were starting off by asking everybody this one question. Think about the top 5 most important magical artifacts or possessions that you own. Okay, think about those. Top 5. Your wand, your spell book, your grimoire, whatever, your medallions. And the biggest question I'm going to ask you is, what would you do if those were gone? Does it mean that just because you don't have those anymore, you can't practice magic? Because if the answer is no, I can't, then I honestly think you missed the point of the magic. All right, here on Rob Rubin Readings, and then we'll leave because nobody's going. Somebody say hi. I'm going to leave here because nobody can. Rob Rubin Readings, yes, on Medium. One word. I have a very long text there called the Belial workings, and it was really worth putting in the effort about that. And you can tell, you can literally tell when a spirit is pleased with you, because he will drop certain things on your lap. Like, special shout out to Goetic Impressions for this amazing Belial pendant, which has been consecrated by them. That, you know what? Scavenge ritual, I agree with you completely. And I think that's actually how that's how Damien Eccles did it. Because yeah, it's true. If you can't do it in an empty jail cell, you can't do it at all. You missed the point. I really doubt they would have given Damien Eccles a sharp dagger, a bunch of seals while he was in prison. And hey, God bless him. So by the way, real big supporter of his. And you see, that's another thing about it too, is that I've noticed, like I said earlier, but some people start off with the whole, I need to do this spell, I need to follow it by the book. They start practicing magic. But sometimes the biggest mistake that happens is they violate the statement of Bruce Lee, which is sometimes when you focus too much on the form, you miss out on the essence. Like if you're performing the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, and you're stressing it, you kind of miss the point. It's actually meant to make you feel better, get rid of the things that you don't want. And like I say in our Intuitive Awakenings program here in Mysterium Philippines, don't stress trying to relax. Because if so, you're missing the point. And like I've noticed that the further you go down into the practice of magic, the less it becomes about the performance, and the more it becomes just about doing and allowing and riding the synchronicity wave, and more of just making yourself an outlet or a lightning rod of the limitless force that magic is. I mean, some people tend to hate the new Star Wars trilogies with a passion, but one thing I liked about it was it dived into the idea that the force does not belong to the light nor the dark, and it is neither light nor dark. It's just dogmatic orthodoxies decide to put labels on it. Actually, I am Filipino, believe it or not. I am in Metro Manila. Come visit Manila. I'll show you around. So going back to it, um, it's neither light nor dark, and nobody really has a right to claim, the force belongs to the dark. Same thing with magic. I really am liking what uh, Gabriel from Anathema Press has been sharing in Aurora about, like, he basically summed it up on the idea that if you're going to deny any of the paths, you're basically cock blocking gnosis. He didn't really say it that way, but that's kind of what I got from it. And how he talks about the Lucifer in the Christ, and the Christ in the Lucifer, or the light in the dark, and the dark in the light. And I really think that right now we're in a time where these lines that were so clear before are no longer applicable to what they used to be. I have seen certain Satanists act more Christian like than some Christians, and I have seen certain Christians do some things that would even make the wiliest of edge lord dark workers jaw drop. And we've been so indoctrinated by society. No, he's a Satanist, he's a Luciferian, he's wrong. Wait a minute, that's his spiritual pantheon. And if he's doing good because of it and not harming anyone, then how is he wrong? It kind of makes us all think. And the only way that any of us, hello, Jose Villa PX, welcome to the show. The only way any of us are going to grow and ascend as spiritual beings is by understanding both facets of us. Because the minute we try to repress one over the other, big no. Like, this is where I kind of like what Palpatine said in Star Wars. He said, Anakin, if you want to understand the great mysteries, you must embrace a larger viewpoint of the Force. He did have a point, although he was sinisterly evil. He did have a point. And if you cannot be open enough, and if you cannot be, the word I'm looking for here is non-judgmental enough to consider that both sides have truths in it, then you're really just limiting yourself to a cup that is half full. Think about that. Because, like, one thing that they don't really talk about much, and I'm going to do a segment on this, is how gnosis really works and what's it all about. 'Cause I've spoken about the topic of gnosis to people. Thank you, Scavenge Rituals. Keep up. You're doing the universe's work. Thank you so much. Ultimate fan here. Um, One thing that I just realized is, like, at the end of the day, you're going to find what truths work for you. And you're going to go beyond what others impose upon you. Now, the key words that I've always stuck to was respect and compassion. Can you respect others' beliefs? And can you show compassion to others at the same time? Because if you can, then you're good. But if you can't, if you're out there to prove to everybody that your practice is the one true practice and the only practice out there, then you're missing the point. So, anyhow, remember, you are your magic. Your tools are not your magic. Your ring is not your magic. And if you could be ready, like what they said about being able to cast magic even in an empty jail cell, then you've got the point. And even if you had your hands chopped off, you can do it. You can perform the LBRP in your mind. Did you know that? Really, you'll probably fall asleep doing it too. So with that, I'm going to end tonight's episode. Shout out to everybody on magic.tv. I really wanted to do this on YouTube, but there was a glitch there. Art Dance Magic, thank you. Maraming salamat, ate, sa bisita mo. We are launching season 3 of magic.tv this June 25th. And this week, I will be doing the teaser of the amazingly powerful, kind, yet respectful soul who will open season 3 of Magic.tv. A man that I've had the honor to learn a lot of things from in less than a year, who I am very excited to join us. That being said, good night, everyone. See you soon. Bye, everyone.